Hi everybody, I am Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. Thanks for joining me. It is officially October 1st, 2021. This is a timeless message, and it is a Friday evening. I don't know the moon cycles at this very moment, but we can check into that later. Regardless, thanks for joining me. Let's see here. I wanted to ask a question, and I thought this was going to be a little bit of a wild card. What the frick? Oh my gosh, this is the only turned up card, which I meant to ask. Okay, I thought it was going to be a little scary, but obviously it's really not. I'm seeing so many messages here already. So we are going to ask, what does my boss think about me? So before hitting the start button, this question in mind, and so I was really excited about it, getting prepped, this is all within a less than a minute's time. And I thought about those things, and the more you manifest, work on that, work on yourself and the control factor, but also with a light hand of release, you're able to grasp so much more and wield so much more. Therefore, without having to verbalize it or prompt it, it's almost effortless once you put in so much effort. You already put in the work. Anyway, I'm just saying that it comes sooner. So this came turned up amidst the deck, and Nine of Pentacles is super abundant, and I think this is really the first card. Oh my gosh. Okay, so our boss, they view us in this manner. So right away, I'm seeing so many things out of here. Other than being traditionally super abundant, this is earned abundance. First off, what are we going to start off with, angels? She's donned in floral attire. So this is almost like the Empress. This is an element of the Empress, but she's early gestation period or just birthed something. So she's not pregnant here. It's either the earlier stages of pregnancy, if not already birthing, all of this abundance or fertility, which doesn't take away from her own. It's just the production in it and a reproduction of self and what she's accomplished. Whether you're male or female, this is still applicable. So they see you as accomplished, and that you really nurse and take care of the fruits of your labor. So you're not careless with whatever you've put out into this world. It's still like how you hold yourself on the inside is very abundant in its approach as well. There's still a connection to that which you've produced. They're still your babies. That's what it is. Oh, they're babies. And the other thing is that these look like cleaning gloves, and I'm using the albino weight tarot. So the color coding in this, and even the applicable application of color within its saturation and method of placement, is very different from its traditional. It's just very slight, but also it makes such a huge difference in the interpretation. Six of Pentacles there, yeah, reciprocity, yeah. So you're into building things. That which you put out into the world is very much a reciprocation of what you receive from it. So you're very appreciative of what life has blessed you with. You see the blessings for what they are. And on the other side, there's Three of Pentacles, which is, about building things. And it's at the base of her, so it's building foundations. Your boss has this impression of you that you help clean up messes. That's, sometimes a pile of unfavorable things fall on your lap. And upon receipt of it, you're cleaning up. You filter out dirt versus what should be kept almost pristine or maintained. So you're a nurturer, okay? You see that your perspective, like you don't lose sight of yourself within your perspective, your planning. Yeah, that's what it is, because we have the Two of Wands here, which are very abundant, right? They're flourishing, right? And you're that third wand. So off in the horizon, in the distant horizon, however far you look ahead and what's behind you, you are still part of that. You are the third wand. And I also see a darkened face over here. And we just got through with the reading with the Deviant Moon Tarot. So they understand that you have this dark side and that you connect with it. And you use it to highlight the brighter side of yourself. It's knowing the difference between the two, as well as the connection point. That it's definitely still a part of you, just as well as us. There's some kind of a bird in your connection with nature and its ability to communicate with you, to bring you things. You see there's like a gift, but it looks like a warrior offering. So that's what we start off. Okay, so what else? What does my boss think of me? That's what we're asking. Yes, Spirit? What does my boss think of me? Today at work, someone resigned, but they were able to place him. They were still able to utilize him, okay, his services. But it just seems so, like, random. I'm wondering, like, how am I perceived in all of this? And I know it's not all about me, but sometimes I have some kind of insecurity as to whether or not I'm producing well. And it's not a matter of fear in the fact that I might be let go. It's definitely not that. It's, what am I bringing to the table? Is it seen, whatever I am bringing to the table? Is it to the standards of what I want to put out there into this world? All right, so Spirit, what is it? Spirit, angels, what is it that my boss thinks about me? What our boss thinks about us? Okay. Queen of Wands. They see that you are that you're hot shit. That you're, how do I say this? It's a subtle form of prowess. Yes? You do not have to lay it all out there, but your prowess is evident. It is super obvious. It is stark, almost. The difference between when you're there and when you're not there. You own that identity. And there's like this childlike nature within you, but it's super powerful, and because it's unoffensive. You bring light into people's world in a way that's like friendship, the vibe of it. So you're able to like see weeds as flowers, yeah, and offer that perspective to others. It's almost like she is also cornered by two, not cornered, but bookended by two wands because of that. And that's not something that you normally see in the traditional deck. They also see you as very mystical and witchy somewhat because of the black cat here. I mean, you might, you know, be into like superstitions if you're not into, you know, practicing certain crafts or rituals. But they see that you're very grounded in this, you're on this platform of like almost nothing. It's like weightlessness, this mystery. That's part of your foundation. And there's something that holds you up that's very mysterious, but yet they also see you as super accomplished, because to get, these are very similar cards. You see the resemblance in the actual person is uncanny. You know, they're saying that we are able to see ourselves in our abundance. So we realize our potential, our working potential, just unfolding. All right, is there anything else out of that? Yeah, like, oh my gosh, where do you find a freaking sunflower in this mountainous region? You don't. So you're able to, like, we are able to find that. It's like a diamond in the rough. And we're able to share that. We're not greedy with it. We're able to share our own discoveries. that are considered a rarity. And what else did we want to say, angels? Spirit. And what does our boss think of us? Ooh, temperance. Okay. They see that we're balanced and that we're making something out of 13:15 on the clock. They see us as almost like a chemist, where we're mixing certain things and we're just waiting. It's not just weighing things, because weighing things, it's a perspective like of two separate elements, the considerations of like negotiations, whereas this is a melding. Like once you mix something, you can't unmix it. So there's a certain amount of precision in what we're doing, movement in, you see the waves created here. They're seeing that there's like a lot of movement in that. The water isn't flowing out. There's no spilling here. So there's an expertise in what we do, and what we do is always comes out shining. Like it's like the end of the tunnel, right? You know how to find the answers once you put your mind to it. Oh, that's what it is. And you're able to bring a certain amount of tranquility. You see the variation between the silence of the water. It's very serene, whereas this is in motion. So it's like rub your head, pat your tummy, right? Rub your tummy, pat your head kind of thing. That's also saying like that misspeak was kind of like saying that you're ambidextrous in that kind of concept, and being well versed in your motions from front to back and back to front. What you do is very meditative, like you're focused on what you're doing, and you're able to understand where you stand, that you're able to stand your ground on different levels, whether that be testing the waters, and that sometimes you don't know the depth of, that you're kind of testing, right? Not just the temperature, but the depth that you're testing, and that which, you know, is stable. When you put your mind to something, it's like brightening up what seems desolate, right? Because the mountainside here is, you know, it's kind of cold, and the implications of it are extremities. When it's cold, it's super cold. There's, you know, more precipitation caught. Snow comes out of that. And when it's sunny, it can be it's drastic. It's almost like jagged, elevated desert conditions. So they see you as being able to uncover different shades within the horizon. You're detailed. You're able to detail everything just through your perspective alone. And what you can maneuver with, they see that it's, you know, done with a pure thought, like your intentions are pure. This is like wedding pure, like this is integrity, right? So you have good work ethic, whether you're on the clock or off. Whether you see yourself that way or not, it's the derivative of your capabilities. They see that in you. They've seen it before. Whether you're consistent or not, this is something that they see. Okay. Also, when you're testing the depths and the temperature of the water, they see that you're visible, right? So you're not doing this in a way that's like, oh, questionable. There's a certain amount of transparency in your approach. That's good. Yeah. Okay, Spirit. What does our boss think about us? 18:37 on the clock. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you want to add to this? Okay, this just lightly like flipped over right in front of me. It's a 7 of Pentacles. Okay, it takes time for things to grow. You know, in gestation periods of certain plants, you have you know, one that does better in a certain season than others, and some that will only flourish in a certain season, and then you have your ongoing ones that are able to resurrect within that season year round. What this is saying is that you're able to, like, you're patient enough to understand that cycle of growth. That you're not going to constantly hack at it and nitpick at it, because you know that that's not going to urge it to grow any faster. And that you are level-headed enough to understand that just because if something is closer to you, it doesn't mean that it's ready to harvest. Like, you're not going to be impatient and test out, you know, the fruit that's closer to you just because it's more convenient. Oh, this also goes for, I feel like this goes for like dating. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they see that you're, you know, selective with your investments too. You realize whenever something is in growth, it, you know, takes a certain amount of time before it is ready to be harvested. So when you have that kind of thought process and approach to what you're doing, it carries out through much more magnified things, investing in other people. So you're not going to pick the lowest hanging fruit or the fruit that stands at your feet. Yeah. Ooh, so what you're looking at is the top one. That's really, oh, yeah, they're saying that. That's what they're saying. That's what we're saying. Okay, is there anything else here? Right? So far, so good, don't you think? What does our boss think about us? That one. The Emperor. Oh, take ownership. Like, we're powerful. Our boss sees us as powerful. Oh, they can see that you have like some sort of like Wiccan tie to you. Like, there's some sort of like, it's not darkness. It's just like untraditional in the way death has brought you some kind of connection point to your power. Yeah, because usually when you contemplate death, there's this feeling of helplessness and a withering effect. Death initially can take a lot out of you. It can deplete you. But it can also give a great deal to you. I'm seeing very, very broad shoulders. So there has been a lot of burdens that we've carried. And you kind of hide that well within how you, it's not hiding it well. It's you hold yourself well. You still had to carry that heavy bundle, you know, like the 10 of Wands type of deal. But at the same time, you're not like crouched over. You haven't let it allow a crippling effect to you. You still stand or sit tall. They see that life has given you some wear and tear, but for the most part, it's given you a lot of strength and abundance. You see that pomegranate here? I think that's usually within the 9 of Pentacles, at least in the banners, like the High Priestess and all of that. They see you as powerful. That even as you sit on a stone throne, and that it might feel cold and you might feel uncomfortable with having to be readily available for things. You see the knight armor. That you're still chivalrous in what you do. Yeah. So it's not about being comfortable within this position. It's knowing how to hold yourself given what you have to tend to. You're able to see the purpose in what's available to you now and your life lessons. You know, that you have the Ankh further pronounced here, elongated. But you've gone through some kind of loss, but you wear that like a crown of thorns. You see a 5 of Pentacles right there on his crown. So it's like a crown of thorns. They don't see you as a martyr per se, but that you take ownership in your sacrifices. Oh, and then Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There's some kind of holdup though. Can you clarify this, Spirit, why it's in reverse? Why is it that our boss thinks of this? And why is Wheel of Fortune is in reverse? Something is being held up. I don't know why. The Eight of Cups is leaving something behind in order to gain a greater perspective. It's packing lightly. 26:52 is on the clock in order to move forward with your journey. Why is it there's a holdup? Is this a transition? So you got this stacked up like a landmarker. Like, I'm gonna return back to these. Okay, right now I have to like go off and, you know, think about things, like go on hiatus. But I've got the red robe here, right? So I have the intention of, you know, grounding. I'm going off to greater heights. This is on a journey that is almost minimalistic. It's like a retreat for self and spirit. And you see these horizons have cliffs, right? So that's an indication of moving on to a new journey. But first, you know, you have to like go out solo, just, you know, like the wolf, right? Before it joins the pack. And so we're going to return back to those. But the way it was like situated was there's like a hold up, a transition, right? And then, you know, we have temperance that was kind of, it was like that, right? So with that, it's like, these are the Two of Cups. We're trying to find that balance, you know, within traveling. We're trying to find that Two of Cups, like harmony, union, like the mastery, being unbothered, really focused on what we're doing. So when we get that, when we grab a hold of that, we return back, and then it adds to the Eight of Cups, which is the 10 of Cups. And that's, it does end with a rainbow there. It's like finding our happy ending going solo. So I don't know how intuitive your boss may be, observant, but this is an energy that you have. You're kind of private on this, very contemplative. You don't have to publicize it. It's not for anybody else. This is for you, and in the end, really for like the collective. Spirit. Okay, 29:44 on the clock. Last card. What would you like, Spirit, tell us about what our boss thinks about us? The Sun card. So I get that you might not feel as happy and joyous as you normally would, like your light has dimmed a bit, but to the world is what I'm seeing is what you're projecting out there is still the Sun card. Yeah, but when I'm looking at it, it looks like upside down to me, but you know, facing you is like what I'm projecting to you. What we project to the outside world is this like childlike demeanor, this joyous, victorious setting of, you know, light and love. And you're going places that your mode of transportation, however you proceed, your vehicle, your approach is something that matches you. Yeah, it grows with you. And you see that red robe, how it kind of like carries through to that, growing into that. Yeah, so this is like backwards and then forwards. Yeah, what we started off with was like the current state, but this is like the backstory. And then for what they see from us, but then from how we see ourselves is like, this is the current state. This is concurrent. Yeah. So when we see like these 4 sunflowers again, that's like 4 of Pentacles, and then the 5th one here. So it's understanding like there's a repetition in the 5 of Pentacles here, that there's blessings in disguise, that you can't realize one side without the other. I just saw like a feather right there. I feel like that draws to temperance, right? So it's like Yankee Doodle, like growing into like this, like the inklings of that. So we must have high expectations for ourselves as well. And you see how the flow, it's like the same thing as the flow in temperance there. Yeah, so as we're focusing on what we're doing here, it's further magnified into our outward realm. Whether we feel like it or not, like we might not feel like it, but that's what's seen from the outside. So that means we're doing a good job. Yeah, a gray horse. There's something about a gray horse though. It's riding the middle ground, like understanding that, like the polarity. It's neither black nor white. There's a gray area, and you're able to ride through with that. And any walls that you may encounter are not barriers. They're like you repurpose them into planters. So you're able to beautify the environment, not allow it to feel so closed off. And this is the only one that I noticed, or just I'm looking at everything else in the major arcana that ends with a period. So it is like, it's non-negotiable. Like this is the sun, period. You also see that with the Emperor, period, right? Queen of Wands, period. And that's just a court card within royalty. So you see that in all of this, but this was where I noticed it, starting point. Yeah, that's cool. I think that was the last card that we wanted to get out of that. Should we see the bottom of the deck? Let's look at the bottom. Judgment in reverse. I think what they see is that it's only a matter of time. That's funny. We might call out people. We might call out whatever's going on. You know, I saw this going on and I'm praising this person for, you know, doing this. But then this one's a faker. And then this one, you know, is going through some stuff, I sense. You're able to see that, see the truth in things. That's what our boss sees about us. And like, this is not for self, this is like to remedy a situation. You see the red cross here? Yeah, when you call out, it's attached to the horn. Yeah, so that's to fix the situation. And you see, like, you bring balance, right? Another indication of that. You don't have to be like official, like wear a crown or hold a scepter or whatever. You stand above ground. There's legitimacy in what you're doing. And you kind of blend into the background a little bit when you need to. The work that you do is like the background stuff. But it's still very much like a big part of the ambiance, right? The sky. Yeah, that's what our boss sees about us. Okay, I think that's it. So thanks for joining me. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button if you haven't already, and feel free to comment and hit the notifications bell. I'm doing this all out of order, but whatever sticks is worth it. So thanks for the energy exchange. This was a mutual good one. Oh, and if you're feeling up to it, I welcome donations to my channel. Either way, let's thank our angels, our higher selves, our spirit totems, because this bird came through. Spirit, I'm pretty sure I said the angels, but if not, it's worth to say it again. Oh, and our inner children, yeah. And our ancestors. Elementals as well, helping us, you know, measure out. I think that's it. Okay, have a good day. I'll see you again later.